Hi everyone, my name is Roel, one of the inspirators and keynote speakers at the EasySwim event held September 17th in Finland, where I will be talking to you about all the different trends and developments we see for swimming education. For children, there was no real fun experience. It was more like a must for children to go through a swimming education, and at the same time she was thinking like, is that possible? We are actually having one of the most fun educational aspects in water education. Is one of the most fun things in potential, and what we do, we actually achieve to take all the fun out of swimming education and just focus on getting these kids to be able to swim. So what she actually thought is like, maybe we should do something with that, and she started with just having friends, having family over to our home pool, starting teaching according to not only do that strict program, but try to make it a real fun experience. That it has been quite a hit. We actually got more and more people to come to those classes, and by now, 2016, what we actually see is that her dream to have a real fun swimming education, her dream is actually very much alive, because not only do we actually nowadays have 7 pools within our family company, Driessen, where we teach about 3,500 children each week in swimming courses, but we also see that EasySwim and the fun that we want to create within the method is actually established in over 90 pools in Holland already. And of course, we are really enthusiastic about the fact that we are also taking EasySwim to Finland since a couple of years, and also Norway now. So the first international steps are already made. What we believe in at EasySwim, just to have this introduction summed up, is very important for you to understand. Saara will talk about like the aspects of the method and how we translated those beliefs. But what we believe in at EasySwim is that a swimming education can be made fun, can be made easy for every child. But not only that it can be made fun and easy, that it should also be made fun and easy for every child. We believe that children have the right to have the most fun swimming education, to make sure that they have a lifetime of safety in the water, but that they also learn that the water is one of the most cool places to just play and to recreate. We believe in experience-based learning. We made some conscious choices within the methodology that actually adapt to experience-based learning, and we believe that children have a natural urge not only to be very active, but also to learn. So we want to make sure that they have a lot of fun, a lot of pleasure during the education, but also we want to really engage them in our swimming education to make them really motivated, and that's actually what we try to achieve with the methodology.
Ja luulen, että semmoinen piktogrammien käyttöönotto ja eriyttäminen on aika monelle ohjaajalle ollut uusi asia uimaopetuksessa. Tämä oli mulle semmoinen, kun mä näin ensin ton diplomitilaisuuden ja olin siinä siis kyllä aika myyty. Ja niin kuin sanoin, niin mä olin myyty siitä tunnelmasta ja siitä, että lapset oli siellä hymyillen hyvällä mielellä. Se oli juhla, että he oli niin valtavan taitavia niin nuorella ikää. Ja se sai mut puolelle. No sitten sen jälkeen me lähdettiin perehtymään siihen, että no millä heidät on viety tuolle taitotasolle. Et ihan semmoisella viikoittaisella läträämisellä, vaikka olisi omassa kodissa allas, niin se progressio ihan tolle tasolle nousee. Ja sitten lähdettiin sukeltaan syvemmälle siihen, että missä EasySwimissä on metodina kyse. Jos puhutaan metodista, niin se tarkoittaa sitä, että siellä on joitain identifioitavia asioita, jotka voi siirtää. Silloin ne ei ole henkilökohtaisia. Niin kuin Roel kertoi, että kaikki alkoi siitä, että hänen äidillään oli haave ja hän lähti itse kehittämään sitä sen hetkistä uimaopetusta. Mä tiedän, että mä oon itse kulkenut pienessä kaupungissa Hämeenlinnassa vähän samanlaisen polun, että mä oon ohjannut 12 vuotta kursseja, koskaan en ole mainostanut yhtäkään ryhmää. Vaan oon pistänyt itseni likoon ja päättänyt, että teen parhaani, koska saan harrastaa jotain näin upeata ja olla lasten kanssa. Ja silloin, jos kyse on sellaisesta toiminnasta, niin silloin siinä ei ole metodia. Silloin se on sekoitus persoonaa ja puhetta ja ympäristöä ja säkää ja sitä ympäröivää ryhmää. Mutta silloin, kun me voidaan sanoa, että tämä toimii muillakin, toisen ohjaajan tunnit, näitä asioita siellä korostaen, yhtä lailla vetää heti ihmisjoukon. Ihmiset kiinnostuu ja sitoutuu sen muotoiseen toimintaan, niin silloin me voidaan todistaa, että hei, tässä on joku metodi, tässä on joku asia, minkä mäkin voin ottaa. Ja silloin kun se tunti tuodaan tänne allastilaan ja meillä on tämä tukiväline piktogrammit, niin niitä 9 lasta, jotka meillä siellä altaassa on, niin me halutaan myös varsinkin uutta opettaessa niin hajauttaa pienempiin ryhmiin, eriyttää. Osittain siksi, että me voidaan silloin itse keskittyä ohjaajina vain muutamaan lapseen. Aidosti katsoa, mitä he osaa, viedä heitä seuraavalle tasolle, tukea kädestä pitäen, vaikka rintauinnin potkua harjoitellessa tai vapauinnin hengityksessä, tai ihan vaan siinä, että lapsi saa turvallisen tunteen, että hän kastaa kasvoja kohti vettä. Tai siksi, että me halutaan, että lapset tekee toistoja jonkun hauskan pelin kautta, mutta että heitä on riittävän vähän, että se toimii. Pakko Arja nyt sua nostaa, kun sulla on toistakymmentä vuotta, eikö se ole uimaohjausta taustalla?
Mä oon vammaohjaaja pitänyt yli 20 vuotta.
Joo.
Sitten mä oon kilpailuissa pienten lasten ryhmiä nyt vähenemässä määrin. Nyt mä oon 3 vuotta kohta Forssassa ja Somerolla nyt kohta vuoden, niin pitänyt EasySwimia. Mulla on yhteensä nyt tällä hetkellä pikkukaupungit, niin mä oon 85 lasta yhteensä. Ja se on mikä tulee koko ajan viestejä perheiltä, että lapset laskee päiviä, koska on seuraava tunti. Ja mitä mä ajattelin silloin, kun mä pidin vaan hoitellut perheoittina, missä on niitä isompia lapsia, mitkä niin ei suostu tekemään yhtään mitään siellä. Mä yritän saada niille tekemään, kun ne oppis vaikka mitä. Ei mitään, sen vanhemmat sanoo silloin alkuun, että tää Erkki haluaa nyt tulla EasySwimmiin, että miten mä saan sen yleensä tekemään yhtään mitään, kun ei se täällä perheunissa tee mitään. Sitten kun ne tuli ensimmäisen kerran, ensin oli se puku, siellä vaan mulla näytillä niitä pukuja, että joku voisi käyttää näitä, niin ei, tää on kauhea, ei hän halua. Sitten kun ne tuli ensimmäiselle tunnille, tuli se asennusasia, että mitä tehdään, koska saadaan muita ja mitä tehdään. Ne oli kaikki niin kuin ihan sillä, että voi vitsi, tää on hienoa. Et mä oon niin kuin ihan tosi tyytyväinen tähän metodiin. Ja perheet on ja lapset on.
You see a director's chair. One of the first trends we see is that customers, both the children and the parents, in this case we mean especially the parents, they get more and more in control. They actually sit in the director's chair more and more, where in the past a pool, and we see this in the Netherlands as well, could just wait for customers to come over because they are the closest pool in their community. They're the only pool, but the customer is getting more and more critical to where they actually have their children attend swimming lessons, and something that we need to take into account. Then education, we see a couple of trends in education, a couple of shifts from the way we teach our children, not only in schools but also in swimming education, that I want to talk about. The third trend is that we are actually entering more and more into a sharing economy. With some examples, I will explain what we mean with that. We are in the digital age. That means that technology, that data is getting more and more, becomes a bigger and bigger part of our lives. And that means that as an organization, both within our methodology, but also as an organization, we need to look at, okay, what does technology, how does data influence the way we actually operate our business? How do we organize our organization in a way that we actually make most of what that technology boost will actually enables us to do. The fifth trend is actually a counterbalance to a more digital world. So when we see that on the one hand, data, technology becomes more and more part of our lives, at the same time, we have a higher need. We actually long more and more for a meaningful human interaction. So where at the one hand we see our world become more and more digital, that also means that we actually feel that it's more and more important to us to actually be in contact with others at the same time. A little bit of a counterbalance to the world that becomes more and more distant. And that will make that 8 will become a 7. That 7 will become 6, 6.5 maybe. because we can actually spend less time on that. In the end, we actually get that 4 up to a 6. But by then, all the rest is down to a 7, maybe 6.5. So we average out all children on that 6-7 scale. That is failure-focused education, and we do this in swimming education quite often. What we feel is that swimming education and educational systems in general should focus on talent. It's much easier to make a 7 into an 8, an 8 into a 9, and a 9 into a 10. And that's what we should focus on, also when it comes to in-water safety, we feel. Then a second sub-trend is that, and this is a trend that you actually see in education systems for quite a few years, is that our education is shifting from a one-size-fits-all approach to more individual personal development. So you see that every child has different needs within classrooms, within schools. The third trend, and these trends I will just go through a little bit more briefly here, since it's more like society trends, but just look at some ideas and some opportunities they might bring, or some challenges they might bring in the future. We are more and more entering what they call the post-material era, and that means that where in the past we were actually really keen on just owning things. We have 2 cars, we have a house, we have everything to ourselves. And the post-material era that they call it, I haven't come up with that phrase, of course. It's called the sharing economy that we're entering. It's changing things quite much. It's changing industries, but it could also influence the way we are working in the swimming industry. A couple of examples. I'm not sure if everybody's familiar with them, but Airbnb is now the biggest hotel chain in the world with no hotels of their own. They're disrupting the hotel business quite much, and they do that quite fast as well. In just 6-7 years, they actually disrupted that entire industry. Uber, even though I know in Holland and I think also in Finland, they've been in the news a little bit negatively, is by now the biggest taxi company in the world without actually owning taxis by themselves. And of course these initiatives, they will actually they will face like rules and regulations, because our world is not set up for a sharing economy in some ways, but they are changing different industries. Say for Just Park, where you share parking spaces in big cities where limited parking is available. We share our cars by doing the modern version of hitchhiking, because everything becomes easier when it's just an app and you say where you want to go, instead of being on the side of the road with a sign. But all these examples show that we are entering more a sharing economy. When you translate that to our industry, the swimming pool industry and swimming education, it's a couple of things that we see and that we also might see in Finland. What we see in Holland a lot is that, especially when there's a shortage of pool hours, is that we are going to share our available pool water better. And then of course we have the community pools that are filled up with mostly clubs and maybe some private companies, but normally it's a lot more places where you can actually swim. Some people have private pools at home that they actually use maybe once every 2 weeks, or maybe swim some lanes in the morning. But those private pools could be rented in the future by private companies. We have hotels that have pools that we see in Holland, more and more hotels, holiday parks, but also swimming pools at rehabilitation centers, special education schools that own their own schools. Those pools are empty, especially in the weekend. And swim courses in Holland is normally done in the weekend, so we start sharing pools more and more. That will actually might be a really good solution for those clubs and those companies that are looking for more water. And at the same time, it could be a challenge, because it could just be that in your town, where you actually have most hours in the community pool now, you will get competitors because they start using different pools that are not used for swimming education now. Instead of, as a pool, having to invest in different things, like software or whatever, we have actually built software systems that you can fully operate your entire organization with, and do that much cheaper than what you normally do when you pay like a commercial fee to a software company. So sharing investments, creating an economy of scale, sharing experiences, sharing our expertise is something that we can do, and what all pools can do together to make each other stronger. This is what we do on the sharing economy side of it. We call that EasySwim Star Support, is our support package to pools that are working with EasySwim. A couple of examples. I know that when you use data and the data becomes more and more available, you actually can use that data to know your customers better. And in our business, we're not talking about big data or whatever like the big companies are doing, but what we can do is do more marketing and better, more relevant marketing to our customers. We know that some customers, when you have your software set up correctly, we know that they attend swim courses, or they do aqua jogging, or they are members of a competitive team. And based on that information, you can actually make much more relevant offers to your customers. At the same time, when you look at technology, you see more and more smartwatches. I know that Apple just introduced their second version of the Apple Watch, which is waterproof. You can use it for swimming. So that opens up new possibilities for pools, but also for clubs, for instance, to measure how their teams are doing, how their swimmers are doing. You can use that data to actually improve training programs and everything that you want to do. So this opens up nice new possibilities for the pools, for the clubs and organizations that are a little bit focused on that. But it's like just something that you might see in the next couple of years. That was fourth trend, data technology, and the last trend is what I said, a little bit counterbalance for that digitalization, as they call it. We live more and more in a digital world. We communicate with many companies. We now communicate with digital communication. Instead of calling a company, I send them an email, or I can just handle everything like with the bank. Like 10, 15, not even that long ago, years ago, I needed to actually go to the bank and to make changes or to get a new bank card or whatever. Nowadays, I can just log on the internet. I can actually get a new credit card. I can get a new debit card. I can make all the things that I need to do with my bank without actually speaking to anybody in person. That also means that because we are actually living more and more in that digital world, is that we're still human and we still like to have that face-to-face contact. And the good thing with our business, swimming education and the swimming pool industry, is that I don't see in-water robots teaching our children how to swim in the near future. So we still will be having, like, a key element in our advantage is that we will have that human interaction. And those companies, those schools, those clubs that do that the best, they will be tomorrow's winners. More with this than with all the other things, because the instructor that is teaching your child, the teacher that is actually in front of the classroom in school, those people make the biggest differences. We can have the best method, of course, we can have everything ready, but if the teacher or the instructor isn't isn't the best for the kids and isn't really connecting with the kids, then of course the learning efficiency, but also the fun and the involvement with children will be low. And therefore, this is one of the biggest opportunities we see, is that those organizations that work with the best instructors, that work with the instructors that have same core values to what we want to do in swimming education, those will make the difference in the future. That human interaction needs to be meaningful, it needs to be warm, and it needs to be sincere. So what we do within Driessen, for instance, but also what we advise pools, is be really, really conscious when you actually take on new instructors, that those instructors fit to what your beliefs are and fit to your way of working. Because they will make the difference. If your goal is to make your swimming education the best possible, make sure that you select the best instructors possible as well. Within EasySwim, we actually support that as well within the academy, because I think that first of all it starts with who you are and your core values, but at the same time we believe also that you need to be working on the professional side of it as well. So professionalism, the quality that you as an instructor can offer, is going to be more and more important as well. So this is the fifth trend that we see. To sum it up, we have discussed 5 trends, and what we see as what we call tomorrow's winners, those organizations, those clubs that will be in the lead tomorrow, they actually use the best of 2 worlds. On the one hand, you keep it personal, keep it small, keep your own identity as a company, but also as a club. Be who you want to be, and make sure that you focus on that human interaction. Keep that in place, but at the same time, you use a platform where you can actually boost your organization when it comes to efficiency, but more than that, when it comes to building and improving quality. So 2 different things, and when they come together, I think that as an organization, you're ready for the future.
Story is that I really fell in love. It's true with EasySwim. When I live in a village, a small village, and I am in the business of customer experience for small and international companies and all over. I have my own business, and so my ears are always high when people talk about customer excellence, like I'm being a happy person or a happy customer. And when I walk through my village, I always hear people saying that the swimming lessons are oh so great, and they say, "Oh, my little boy, he's coming home with a big smile." And the teachers, do you know, there is a teacher that's a woman, and then they call her name. She knows all the names of the children, even in the supermarket. And I know how important that is. So that was the first stage. And then I became a father myself, so our 2 children went to the swimming school, and what I heard was true. It was really amazing. You see something on the videos, but they were oh so happy. And that's also simple when you talk about customer experience. It's all about making people happy. And my children came home. I don't know how it is in Finland when they are young, 4, 5, 6 years old. They are made drawings of because they are proud of the teacher. They're even more proud of the teacher than they are of my as a parent. And when I say something about swimming, no, because Clark was saying, and then such drawings, etc. So that's what it's all about. And it's so simple in your business, because when people are happy, and it's a local business, isn't it? Because then people are talking. You don't go on the internet and look where is the best swimming, because you just listen to other people. Word of mouth advertising. And that makes that their company, you already said, very, very important is the recruiting. What if people tell me something or ask me when there is somebody is the best in the swimming techniques, and there is somebody is loving children, who do you want? The second one. Because the techniques I can learn them. That's not a problem. That's a technique. But the core value, loving children, and say, oh wow, this is nice to be with a group of children and give them a lot of love and teaching and effort, and that you can a little bit, because you can experience, but that's in our opinion with EasySwim. So we help with EasySwim companies to on the recruitment part, and we help them with training that they discover how important it is to have that core value. What we say is this is true, but what we start with is that we say your first customer is the child, because also when you look at scientific research, but that's not so important. You know from your own experience. When I go on holiday, or my friends go on holiday and they come back and I ask, did you have a great holiday? In Holland, everybody go on a camping site with a caravan. I don't think Finnish people are like that. They just fly into the sun or something. Yes. But then they say, oh, I had a great holiday. I say, why? Yeah, because my children were so happy. So I think it's true. It's a law of nature, that when your child are smiling the whole day with other friends or a camping site or in a hotel or whatever you go, or you are happy. And that's the true, and that's why we believe in with EasySwim. It's all about the children. But on the other hand, the people around that you are saying are also very important. You have to interact with your with the parents, with the schools, with everybody in the community, because people talk to each other, and that's very interesting in a local community, because one person is telling his positive experiences on average to 8 or 10 persons. So it's 1, 10, and these 10 persons tell to another 10, so it makes it 100. And within 1 year, the total community, without €1 of advertising, is knowing that your swimming, you as a teacher or your organization, is the best. That's, maybe can I ask you? When we came in, you were working for EasySwim.
Yeah.
Don't even tell if it's not true, but is there a difference, or what is the difference in the way for yourself? Not that the customers are happy or children happy, but what is the difference for yourself working with EasySwim?
I have a lot to do and I have fun by myself too, not just children.
Yeah.
I have fun too.
More fun than before, or and can you explain why is that, or?
There's so many things in one class, so it keeps me happy. I have so many things too. I don't have just one learning stuff in class. It looks like when we invite parents, when I was the first time there, I thought, oh, many parents are going to think it's chaotic. It's chaotic. Children with steering cars and this and that, oh, it's chaotic. And that's a point that our teachers, who are absolutely not happy because they are used to live in structure. They say, I have 8 children and they have to do what I say. If you are a kind of person who believes in that, or thinks gives most fun to you, that you are really happy at the end of the day, please continue. But if you think there are other ways, then and that's what you are telling. That's I think the core of what's in it for me, and that's important, because when you're happy, the children will be happy. And as a result, yes, if you are a club or whatever, you make more money.
Education. So this is going to be an interactive platform where we engage, and you can see a little bit about it. We have a digital world with different areas. We have a treasure chest here that is guarded, but it's a treasure chest. It's much more fun to actually go treasure hunting instead of just picking up a ring from the bottom of the pool. Make it more meaningful for the children, make it more fun. They will be much more engaged. We have different elements here. Shipwreck, we have Ice Age in Finland. Can be quite close to reality actually, if you actually fall through the ice maybe. But this is going to be something that we have been working on for the last year and going to be introduced somewhere next year to the pools that work with EasySwim. What we have here, we have this team, and we make these exercises fun, engaging and interactive. But the funny thing is that with this team, Ezzy's Island, with Ezzy and the characters, but also with all the elements in the app that they are actually playing with, we can make 2 worlds become one. We can actually have that digital world and take it to the physical world by creating an even more richer learning environment. We're going to take the elements like shipwreck wood, instead of just having something to float on, do a held position of whatever you want the children to teach. They actually they need to find some shipwreck wood to float on. Instead of diving up rings, we're actually going to have that same treasure chest in our swimming lessons that they're used to playing with the pool. So you create an even more meaningful, richer learning environment by having those 2 worlds meet in the swimming education. So what we try to do, this is just a sneak preview. It's not available yet, so you can't play this game while going home later on. But what we try to do is to have our swimming education be more fun, more engaging, because we believe if we can have more fun and more involvement with the children, that not only will we create much higher learning results, much better learning results, but we also create a way that children, after taking their swimming diploma or finishing their swimming education, that they love swimming so much through having fun throughout their education, is that clubs and other and pools and organizations, it will benefit from children actually wanting to come back for follow-up programs, so to go into competitive swimming or whatever. So this is just a sneak preview and show you what we do.